After every battle, the soldier is bombarded with many emotions, many things that uh, haunt him, many things that he questions. And as his friends, buddies are carried off the field, and he sees the wasted lives of the enemy soldiers, he wonders, first of all, was it all worth it? Was my cause any greater than the cause of the man who was opposite me? Was my cause the cause of God? And if it was, where was the victory? And certainly in the history of men, the armies that have gone forth to do battle have proclaimed that God was on their side, and their side was right. But the individual soldier goes through a time of reflection while the smell of the cordite is still in the air. He wonders, could I have done something different? He wonders, did I depend upon the wrong people for victory? He wonders if he was prepared enough for such a conflict. And I'm sure that his wonderings and his reflections stay with him for quite a while. I have stood before congregations, spoken to them in the way that I'm speaking now, and their minds or their faces reflect the situation of their minds. Some of them are disinterested. Some of them look like they have been made very unhappy with your message, because it wasn't the message of joy, it was the message of maybe trouble, maybe conviction, maybe a bad feeling came upon them. And I wonder many times, as I'm reflecting today, after I've come from the battlefield, and I've reflected on the same things that a soldier would reflect on. I'm wondering if my cause is right. I'm wondering if I was ready for the faith that I spoke. Now, as to the first question, that comes over you by the act of Satan. Satan is the accuser of the brethren, who stands before God day and night and accuses. Even while you're praising, you're getting accused. When you go out to your different functions, your Christian concerts, you're getting accused. When you come before a man and you testify God's goodness, God's grace, God's mercy, you're getting accused. And the only thing that keeps us on an even state with God, so to speak, is that there's set one down on his right hand who had the spiritual defeats that we have, who have the questions about that fight that we had, and who received victory over it all. I was at a church yesterday, GMA in Cavite, and it was in a wonderful little house, and the people were there to praise God and to receive a message of wisdom from God. And you had a feeling of stability there. You had a feeling of oneness there. Everybody was striving for the same purpose. You were with a group that could go out on the battlefield and claim victory, no matter what the cost. And as I came to the Philippines, and as God has promised me many nights, I will bring you under a great name. And men will know you, and men will hear your message. And he's talking to me personally. Somebody who, when I came here, I couldn't even find a church where I could feel the Spirit of God, where I could feel the oneness of God's people. And God is promising these things, but I see no material evidence. I see nothing that would bring me to the conclusion that it's going to happen. Much like Abraham and Sarah, when God himself came to the plains of Mamre, to their camp, and promised that a woman way past her age and a man way past his age would have a child. Our God is the God of battles. Our God is a God who knows how we feel in defeat. But our God is one who stands and looks out over the battlefield. And he sees far beyond it. He sees the victory that will eventually be ours. He sees the enemy put to flight. And all of his devices are gone from our lives. He sees that final push that his army of saints will make. This morning, when I made my first video, I felt very defeated. I felt crushed, but loving. I was thankful to the man who tried to do his best. I was thankful to the people there in the States, in that church, who gave that little sum of money. Because most of them did not know me. Most of them didn't know my situation. Most of them might have thought that I was one of the preachers who appear and ask for money every week, promise big things, but I'm looking forward to that victory that God is going to give us. I'm looking forward to the peace that comes when the enemy is defeated and you can sit down by the river and rest your tired self. To many, I might sound corny. To others, I may sound like an actor. But this is the way that God has always dealt with me. I'm not apologizing for it. I would never apologize for it. But if you can't speak from your heart like this, if you can't speak in eloquent words, you can still make yourself ready for the battle. In your small way, you can help defeat the enemy. Now, as I mentioned in the video before, I believe, I'm going on a fast. You say, Prophet, didn't you have a heart attack in June? Yes, the flesh failed me, but God didn't. People have failed me, but God won't. And I want to fast for a while. I want to bathe in His Spirit as I do every night. And I want Him to treat the wounds of the conflict. I want Him to renew my belief in the brethren. I want Him to know or show me and make me know that there are still people out there who love you not because they know you or because they've seen you or because they've heard you preach or minister, but because you're there and because you're in need of their help. You're in need of their spiritual salve. God bless you. And Maranatha.